Why are we still going to the United Nations as Africans?
Now, according to Dr. Arikana, going to the United Nations is useless. And she doesn't understand why Africans are still paying attention to this. She doesn't understand why Africans are still going to the United Nations. Like, why? Why? Like, why? He doesn't fathom the ideas. He was like, why? Like, why? It's about time that Africans have to be strong and Africans have to unite and stop following the slave masters' ideology. The part that even pains her more is that the largest voting blocs are the Africans, but they don't even have a seat.
The largest voting bloc in the United Nations are the African nations. We don't have a seat on the table. Why do we go there?
They don't have a seat there. So they are just members. They go, the largest voting bloc, so they just go and vote, but they don't have a seat. So what is the point? Like, what is the point? That is why she is saying that it is, in quote, these are not my own words, ladies and gentlemen, it is a useless entity. I was like, hey, can you say that? Is it even allowed?
Why are we still going to the United Nations as Africans? That is a useless entity. It's not for us. The largest voting bloc in the United Nations are the African nations. We don't have a seat on the table. Why do we go there? We go to the United Nations to vote on their issues. They pay African countries, vote with us on this issue, vote with us on this issue. We have no business going to the United Nations, period. Right. We need to tell Secretary Guterres, thank you very much, but we're no longer going to attend United Nations. It's not our entity. Until we have true representation there. Goodbye.
Right.
That is true with every engagement with the West.
Right.
For example, Zimbabwe and many other African countries, the remains of our ancestors who they murdered are still sitting in jars in their countries. Why are we going to engage them?
Right.
We want those remains returned with repercussions. Right. Until that's happened, everybody from your country, out. If you were former Portuguese colony, all Portuguese, get out of my country. I love it remember when there was this rift between President Mugabe and Prime Minister Tony Blair. And Blair was like, we're coming to take all the British out of Zimbabwe, we're airlifting them. And the response, President Mugabe, was, listen, I've given all my police and military that if you see any British citizen that wants to get out, escort them to the nearest exit point. Get out. If we can just make that position, your government is abusing us. Your government is refusing to give us back our ancestors, the remains of our ancestors who they murdered. Your government is refusing to give us back our artifacts, precious artifacts, priceless, that they stole. Until these wrongs, these blatant wrongs are righted, every British citizen get out. Every Portuguese citizen get out. Every German citizen get out. Let's see how quickly things will change.
Move from there.
It is those citizens who are going to now go to their government and say, we didn't know you were doing that. Let me make this point clear. The citizens do not know of the crimes that are being committed by their governments. So let's put the power back to the people. Let's remind the people that every constitution starts with we, the people. So let's make those citizens, they must succeed in their civic duties. We, the people, are the ones who are failing. Let's come together, let's understand the issues. And so for those of us who are elders, who are in the know, we have a responsibility to educate and inform. Once the citizens are empowered with knowledge and the understanding of what is really going on, I do know for a fact, the average citizen of the world wants a righteous world, a world that is free of hate, racism, bigotry. That's what the average citizen wants.
Doctor, and if you don't know who Dr. Arikana is, Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao is a prominent African diplomat and activist, and she was criticizing the United Nations for its perceived ineffectiveness and lack of true representation for African nations. Lack of true representation of African nations. Although they have the largest number of voting, but still they don't have a seat. I don't know, white people, black people, it's about time that you have to know who your enemies is and who your friends are. If they were your friends, they would have given you a seat so that you'd be like, okay, there is equality. But there is nothing like that. Even if they appoint you as a president of a democratic country, the president is not even the one ruling the country. We all know this. There are people behind the scenes who are ruling the country. That is why when Burkina Faso, Mali, they use, force and, the military came in power, that is why they are hating it. Because they are not going to sit there for you to tell them what to do. I keep on always saying this. How can a country like Burkina Faso, a poor country like that, I recently saw a video where Ibrahim Traore was, doing his rounds, and the people of the country were riding motorbicycle. A lot of people guiding him. They said that they are protecting him. And yes, I know they are protecting him because they like what he is doing, building free houses, new agricultural projects, buying lots of equipment to protect the government. And for food productivity, for food production. That is not even the case. If you check the road that they were driving and guiding him, you will be sad. There was dust everywhere. You could see dust everywhere like a fog. And who are you going to blame? We are not going to blame the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, but we are going to blame France. Because according to some news that I have read, they said that if Burkina Faso need money to fix their country, they have to go and ask France, seek permission before they can get money to come and do some roads, do some infrastructures. Why? Because the money that they were making, everything that they were making, they have to submit all their revenues and everything to France for France to oversee it. And when they need something to do, they have to go and ask for permission before they can do it. As a president of your country, you have to seek permission from another country before you can make development. Meanwhile, you have worked hard, you have money and all that. Neo-colonialism. They saw that we don't want any imperialist, we don't want any neo-colonizer, we don't want anything. And now you see what Ibrahim Traore is doing. I'll continue mentioning his name and the good work that he is doing because I have seen it. The internet is not lying. The GDP is not lying. He has increased his country GDP right now as I'm talking over 20%. And he has been in power for only 2.5 years. So this will tell you that what this woman is saying is true. We have to pay attention to that. We have to. Despite Africa being the largest voting bloc in the UN, she argues that UN does not serve African interests and calls for re-evaluation of Africa's engagement with the organization. He is saying that the UN doesn't serve Africa for Africa's own interests. Recently, I realized there was trending news where some new UN people going to the United States to ask for loan because there has been some Boko Haram and these Al-Qaeda people attacking some of the South African some of the African countries, so they were going for loan and they were not giving it to them. And even if they will give it to them, they will tell them how they have to tackle the issue. But sometimes if you are not on the field, you can't tell me how to tackle it. I know how these people do their things. So if you give us the money and if you give us the equipment, we can fight them in our own way. But if you are the one telling us to how to fight them and it's not working, it's about time that you have to know. They have been giving them money to fight these Boko Haram and all this, but it is not working. Why? Because they want them to do it in their own way. Meanwhile, the people of Africa has to see what is happening and attack it how they want it to happen. But nah. Recently, we saw that some people attacked Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore, killed about 1,000 people of these terrorists. It's gone. But if it was the UN will tell you what to do. And maybe if you follow them, it's not gonna work. And who are these people sponsoring these Boko Harams and these Al-Qaedas? That is a question for the gods. So Dr. Chihombori continued, referencing historical grievances such as the retention of African ancestors, remains, and artifacts by former colonial powers, and advocates for stronger actions, including the potential expulsion of citizens from countries like Britain, Portugal, and Germany from African nations until these issues are addressed. This stance aligns with her broader critique of neo-colonialism and the need for Africa to assert its sovereignty. It's about time that Africa to assert their sovereignty, form their own sovereignty like the Sahel regime, so that they can manage everything by themselves. You don't need this UN. We will come here, we advocate, we will talk, it's not going to go anywhere. But sometimes it is sad. It is sad. If you check the post resonates with the ongoing discussion about the reform of global governance institution, particularly the UN Security Council, where Africans' demand for permanent seats and veto power has been a long-standing issue. This demand is rooted in the Ezulwini Consensus of 2005. Ezulwini Consensus of 2005, which seeks to address the historical underrepresentation of Africa in global decision-making bodies, reflecting a broader push for decolonisation and equitable representation in international affairs. This is not going to happen. They will not allow you. You want to, as an African, you want to be part of global decision. Global decision. You even get a seat, you sit there, you talk, they will not listen to you. As an African, you want to go and tell Europeans, you want to go and tell Americans and other countries what to do. You want to also contribute. Nah, it will not work. They will use Africans to do the dirty work as usual. Barack Obama killed Gaddafi, and after that, he came out to say that one of the biggest mistakes that he has made when he was in power is to kill Gaddafi. Because right now, if you look at the state of Libya, you'll be sad. You will be sad. And he's regretting it. Who did they send to do that? Black. Now, General Langley. They also want General Langley to go and attack Burkina Faso's president, who is Ibrahim Traore. Nah, this is sad. This is sad. Well, I hear. The name has always been R6. You can leave whatever you think in the comment section. Do you think what Dr. Arikana is saying is true? It's about time that we have to pay attention to this so that we can progress in life. Africa will unite again. The name has always been R6. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that this channel will grow. Peace. I'm signing out.